Today we are checking the HAVN HS420. This is the vertical GPU version. Premium mid-tower that lets you vertically mount your GPU, a lot of airflow, and keep your setup looking really super clean. I've got one here, so let's unbox it, see what's inside, and I will share what I love about this case. Okay, let's open the box and check the case and let's go through all the details. Alright guys, when you open the box, the first thing we see is start here. So let's open this small box and see what we have inside. We have the manual here for installing the case with all the parts, the description of the parts, what you get inside and so on. So this is, you can find it also on the website of HAVN if you want, but it's okay, it's cool if you have it here so you can read it and you can check while you're installing all the stuffs. And we have this box which is the accessory kit, as we can see here. So what we have inside here is the VESA mount, some ESD gloves, we have the strips, and we have all the screws for installations and all the zip ties. Alright, for removing the glass here, what we have to do, we have to remove this panel from here. Simply pop up this panel here. Alright, and here on the top we have 4 screws that you have to remove for removing the glass. You can put again those screws if you want, but I believe that once you install everything, you don't need to put those screws. Then once you remove the screws, what we have to do is to grip, push up as so, and then we can slide it away. Alright, here is the case with a vertical GPU bracket with a PCI Gen 5 cable, riser cable here, as we can see. We have to remove this in order to install the motherboard and everything else. So in my opinion, this is one of the latest things that you have to install on the case. Let's say that the last piece for installing everything is the bracket for the fans here. We'll get to this in a minute. Now for removing the back panel, we have to unscrew 2 screws here. One is here and the other one is on this corner here. So you can push it away, and here, as we can see, this have a filter. So this filter here cannot be removed, so this is attached here. So if you want to clean it, you have to remove all this and you have to clean all this with this panel here. This can be washed without any issue, so whenever you want to clean it, you can remove it and clean it and wash it. Now as we can see here, we have all the routing for the cable, which is a really nice touch. We have all these signs here, so you can pass all the cables recommended for 8-pin cables, which is for the CPU, and we have here for the PSU and everything else. So this is a nice touch. We have a plenty of space here. Here goes the power supply with all the spaces. Here we have a nice touch, which are these controls for the fans. We have for a total of 10 fans. Here we have the front panel connector, USB 3.2 type 2 header, and this is the type C. This is for the audio and this is for the front panel, so you can connect everything. And you can remove this bracket here in order to install the SSDs, or if you want to install them all in one, or fans here, you have to unscrew these 2 screws here, and the third one is here, so you have to unscrew here. A nice touch is this piece of plastic here, so in case you want to install the fans or the all-in-one, you are going to reduce the vibration of all the fans and everything. So once we unscrew everything, we can remove the bracket here. Checking the top of the case, we have 2 USB type A 3.2 Gen 2 ports, and we have a USB type C port here and the audio. For removing this bracket, you have to unscrew these 2 screws here and then remove this bracket so you can install all your fans, or if you want to install all in one. Here we have the bracket. This can fit up to 3 140mm fans and 4 120mm fans. Now, moving into the back of the case, here we have the space for installing 2 fans. This is for exhausting and this is for intake fans. So as we can see, we have also this dust filter here, so I would suggest you guys to install this as an exhaust and this is as an intake fan. For removing this one, we have only 1 screw here on the top, and once we remove that screw, we can push it and take it away. So as I was saying, this is the filter here, so you can remove it for cleaning and whatever. And for removing this bracket here, we have 1 screw on the side here, and then this comes easily out as so. Unfortunately, here you can install only 3 fans of 140mm. You cannot install radiators and so on. What I would suggest you here, guys, if you want to have a nice aesthetic build and with all those RGBs and whatever, you have to get those reverse fans. So this is for the intake, because all the cool air is coming here on this side here and is going to go into the GPU. And here we have the dust filter that you can remove it as so. And here we have all the space for the intake. So as we can see, we have plenty of space here, and we're going to give to all the components here a lot of fresh air. And as we can see here, we have these plastics here for passing all the cables that you have to connect here and also on here, and this is a nice touch. This is for the cable management. I believe this is really useful, so you can pass all the cables here. Also here you can pass all the cables, those headers and whatever from this part here. So let's remove the GPU bracket. So for removing the GPU bracket, you have to remove these two screws here, which these screws are also useful in case you want to slide this bracket from back on the other side. So you can use these screws. So for installing everything, we have to remove the bracket from here, unscrewing these two screws here, and we have also on the side here 3 screws that we have to remove in order to remove all the bracket. So once we remove all those screws, here is the GPU bracket. As we can see, it has a Gen 5 riser cable, and this is going to be nice for those latest NVIDIA GPUs and AMD GPUs. And as we can see here, we have all the case with all the parts removed, so we can easily install and everything. One thing that I want you guys to notice is that if you push here, this case doesn't move at all. So the quality of this case is amazing. I believe this is one of the best cases I have seen. So really, whatever you push here, it doesn't move. Also on the side, it doesn't move. So this feels amazingly well done, and also the finish here. So if you want to install the fans here, what we have to do, we have to remove these screws here, and you can install here 140mm fans on 120. If you have to install the 120 fans, you have to use this bracket here. I will show you in a minute. So here it goes. If you have 120mm fan, you have to install it here, and then you have to install all this bracket here. If you have a 140mm fan, you have to simply put it here, install it with the screws, and you are good to go. Same goes also for the bottom fan. So quick pros and cons. As pros, this is a beautiful minimalist design. I really do love it. Anyway, it depends of each one of us. The vertical GPU bracket included, which is a nice touch. Gen 5 PCI riser cable, great airflow, easy to build, toolless panels almost, and a solid radiator support. Some of the cons are the position of the riser cable and the vertical GPU support could be a little problematic if you have some cable management to do and if you want to install one of those streaming cards. For me, this is a top tier choice if you want to highlight your GPU and if you want to run a big loop all-in-one without airflow issues for the GPU or for the CPU. And also this case comes at $300, which for some might be a lot, but I do believe that 90 or almost 100 might be due to the riser PCI Gen 5 cable. Thanks for watching. Drop a comment if you would build your next rig with a vertical GPU like this. If you enjoyed this review, hit that like button, subscribe for more PC builds and gear reviews, and I will see you on the next one.